Hello. I'm starting the stream a little early so we can do a tech check. Check the tech. Because I haven't done a stream in a bit and I don't know if everything is the same or if there have been any updates or changes. So hopefully we're not having any feedback because I have YouTube and Twitch here. I have Instagram here. And sometimes there's some weirdness. So I want to make sure that there's no weirdness before we begin. So hopefully one of you will tell me if we have any weirdness. Hey. So what we're cooking today is called Dorothea's garbanzo bean salad, not to be confused with the chickpea salad that everyone makes, which was, hi! Caroline is here. Can you tell me if the sound is okay or if there's anything strange happening that I need to know about? Hi! So just to give a little introduction as to what we're doing here, I decided that, so usually in the month of October, I'm very busy making what I call spooky cute food, which is like Halloween themed food, but not scary Halloween themed food, like cute Halloween themed food. So that's usually what I'm doing in October. However, I decided that this October I wanted to do something a little different. And what I've decided to do is I learned about a local serial killer that lived in Sacramento from some friends of mine. And I found out that she had a cookbook that she wrote while she was in prison. And so I went to the library and I took pictures of the recipes and I want to veganize them. And so I'm going to be doing... Oh, you're going to San Diego. That's right. Okay, thank you, Scott. It's good on YouTube, and it's glitchy on Twitch for people traveling. You're going to have so much fun in San Diego. I'm jealous. As you're starting to lay down, perfect. I'm okay with being the person who puts you to sleep. I don't know what GLHF means. I have to be taught all of the acronym slang. But if you don't want to stay with me until you fall asleep, I understand. You don't have to. Not required. Not a requirement. So Dorothea Puente made this book of recipes. They're definitely not vegan, but it seems easy enough. Oh, thank you. Have a good sleep. And I was so tired earlier, but I was like, oh, I already scheduled this live stream. I can't back out of it now. So if I look sleepy, that's why. So this particular recipe, so there's enough recipes so that I think I can do, I don't know, maybe like 12. I think I'll probably do like 12 live streams if I can squeeze them in. We'll see. We'll see if I can squeeze in that many. But if I can, I'll be veganizing 12 recipes from the book, Cooking with a Serial Killer. And the first one that I chose was Dorothea's garbanzo bean salad. And I printed it out because I was born a long time ago when this was a thing where we printed things out on paper. That's not really why. The reason is because my computer is here and my phone is here and I'm streaming on both. So I needed a way to look at the recipe, which it's a pretty easy recipe. I don't even think I really need to look at the recipe. It's kind of one of those recipes where it's just like a salad. So you just mix a bunch of stuff together. But yeah, so this was actually already vegan, this salad. So I didn't have to do anything to veganize it. But I am also a little picky pants. And so I don't like certain things. Like one of the ingredients calls for white wine. I don't have white wine. And I don't think I wanted to go to the store today to get white wine. And I don't really like the taste of wine anyway. So I think I'm replacing it with this stuff, which I don't know if you've had this, better than bouillon, but it is so good. I like it better than like the bouillon cubes because it dissolves in water way easier. So I'm pretty into that. So anyway, I already cooked the chickpeas. They are here. You can see them in my Hello Kitty bowl. And I sprouted them before I cooked them. So I don't know if you can tell, but they have little tails. So I'm just pretending that they're swimming with their little tails. Some of the tails are longer than the other ones. I only sprouted them for one day. I feel like when you spread them for more than a day, they get really good tails. These ones just have baby tails. Can you see the tail? Anyway, so if you don't know about sprouting your beans, it's supposed to make them more easy to digest, and then your body can absorb more of the nutrition. But I don't do it very often because you have to really think in advance. Like soaking beans in advance and cooking beans in advance is already a lot of advanced thinking. And so sometimes that's about all I can handle. But because we were planning this stream together, it made it really easy for me to think ahead because I've been like excited about the stream and planning. So these are all the chickpeas. I started with 2.5 cups dried, and it turned into like what looks like to me like 7 cups maybe. I don't know. It looks like a lot. It turned into a lot. I'm going to be eating this for a while. I wonder if it'll freeze. Regardless, I think I can eat it all. So that part is done. And then the next part is she calls for minced garlic. But number one, I don't have a garlic mincer, which might strike you as odd since I'm a food blogger. But I don't have a garlic mincer. Number two, I don't usually keep raw garlic in the house. And the reason is because, well, I only like to buy it peeled because I'm lazy. It's turning into a long garlic story. This is not very interesting. So I'm kind of lazy when it comes to peeling garlic. And so I buy it already peeled. But the already peeled garlic goes bad really fast. Hey. And so you have to cook it right away. So basically, I always have cooked garlic in my fridge. I'm going to show you what I mean. I'm going to get it and show you so you can have a visual. Okay, so this is a jar of roasted garlic. It just looks like this. But what it originally was a giant Costco-sized bag of peeled organic garlic. And so all I had to do was take that whole bag of peeled garlic, put it in like, I have this like dish that I use for this that has a lid and it's oven safe. Put it in the oven for like ever, like an hour, maybe longer than an hour even. And it turns into roasted garlic, like a shit ton. And then I put it in little jars. I just reuse jars because I'm a jar reuser. You should be a jar reuser if you're not. It's a good quality. It smells so good. And so I just fill all these jars. I put one in the fridge and then I put the extras in the freezer and then I take them out as I run out. This is my last jar of like 4 jars. So I'm going to have to do it all again. But like it saves me from having to peel garlic on the daily, chop garlic on the daily, pretend I have a mincer and mince garlic. I'll be honest, I grew up with a mincer in the house and I was the dish person, and washing a garlic mincer is a pain in the, you know what I'm talking about. It's not a fun task. And so I just think that I've been avoiding having one. Okay, so this is what I'm going to use in place of minced garlic. I'm replacing the olive oil with avocado oil because I recently learned that it's better for high heat. And what else did I change? Oh, she called for red onion, like raw red onion, and I'm like weird. Hi! I'm like really weird about raw onion. Like no kind of raw onion is okay for me. And so I'm going to saute the onion, which she actually does have you saute half and then use half raw, which I'm like, that seems ridiculous. Oh, thank you for the hearts. Okay, so yeah, so I'm gonna use a cast iron pan, which normally I would just use my Instant Pot to saute things because I can put the liner in the dishwasher and this I have to wash by hand. But I think it's like easier for streaming that this is here. And also, I think the reason I usually do the Instant Pot is because I want to use the solar electricity instead of, because my stove is a gas stove. Okay, so anyways, that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to dice an onion, which means I need an onion to dice. And now I'm hoping that you will tell me what's happening with you, like what you did today, what you're doing for Halloween. Yeah, I just need I need you to tell me some stories and keep me company, basically. I'll tell you what I did today and what I'm doing for Halloween. Today I had a very failed recipe test. I should have taken a picture of the fail, honestly. Do I save this until tomorrow to compost it? I'm like not going to go to the compost in the dark, I feel like. Will I? No, I won't. Let's just be honest with ourselves. I'm just going to throw this away. So I had this great idea. I don't know if you know what Apple Hill is, but there's this place near us called Apple Hill, and you go there to like supposedly pick apples. But I guess like we had some kind of weird weather this year, like in March or April, there was a freeze and it like messed up all the fruit trees around here. So there was no apple picking when I went to Apple Hill, but they do have like good deals if you get like a bushel of apples. And so I got a bushel of apples. I shared it with my dad and my stepmom. And so she was like bragging about all the fun apple things she was making with her apples, and all I had been doing was eating mine, and not doing anything fun. And so I was at Grocery Outlet, and I saw some Oatly vegan cream cheese, which I'd never had. If you've had Oatly cream cheese, tell me because I need to know. So I'd never had Oatly cream cheese, but I got it. And I attempted to make apple pie muffins with like cheesecake centers, if that makes sense. So I've done this before successfully with other things. So like on my website, vegandollhouse.com, if you don't know my website, there is, I think you could probably link to it from one of these places too. One of these places we're at. There's a recipe for like these, oh, sorry, I'm so itchy. For like these circle strawberry cookies with like a heart-shaped, they're like thumbprint cookies. So they have like a heart-shaped cheesecake center. So I've successfully done this with other brands of cream cheese. I've never used Oatly cream cheese because like I said, I'd never had it before. And so I tried it and it just like oozed everywhere. So it was a bit of a disaster, I would say. The pan was a little bit hard to wash and the muffins looked like a hot mess. So that was a bit of a fail, or a lot of a fail, more than a bit, like multiple bits of a fail. So I did that this morning. And then luckily, I made a tried and true recipe right after so that I could pick my ego up off the floor since I wasn't feeling so great after my fail. And that recipe is my pizza scones, which is a recipe that's on vegandollhouse.com as well. And I make those a lot. I've like never messed those up, I don't think. I don't think it's possible to mess those up. They're unmessable, which is totally a word. I'm pretty sure that's a word, right? If you were watching me dice this onion, you'd be like, oh my gosh, she's doing it the wrong way. Because I know everybody has this like way that they dice onion. But I've tried it the way that everyone tells you to, and I kind of don't like it because I feel like it's kind of not any easier. But then again, this is a very big onion we're dealing with here. Might be a little bit excessive. So yes. So I don't know how fine I need to dice this. Let's see what she says. She says minced again. Maybe I don't know what minced is. I guess when I saw minced garlic, I thought it was through the thing where you push it through all the little holes. But you obviously don't do that with an onion, right? Okay, do you think this is enough? I feel like that's a lot. Well, it is a lot of chickpeas. All right, I'll just do the other half. What else am I going to do with this half an onion anyway? Okay, so I'm going to heat this up. Let's start getting our pan hot. I'm going to put the oil in so it can heat. This is the avocado oil I've been getting because it's at Costco and it's cheap. I mean, it's not cheap, but like whatever, per ounce. If you get it in this big thing, it's cheaper per ounce. Let's call it that. Per ounce, per gram, depending on where you are. So that's what I did for the first part of my day. And then, well, I'm going to let this get hot, I think. So we'll just chat. Or I can cut these limes. So I did that. Okay, let's talk about limes. So the recipe calls for lemon juice, which I don't have because it's lemon juice. Who has that? Probably everyone but me. And so I went outside. Right there, actually, I can see it in the dark, is a lime tree. It's technically my neighbor's lime tree, but it grows over, like, the branches come to say hi to me. So I found these on that tree. I found them. I just found them. And so I'm going to try to use this. Now, it said to use 1/3 of a cup. Now, this might not be 1/3 of a cup, and I'm not going to care. I'm just going to use them anyway. But I did get out my measuring cup, so I clearly care a little bit. I just want to know, out of curiosity, I want to know I just want to know how much this is going to make. Okay. And so Caroline did not tell us what she's going to do in San Diego, which I feel like we all wanted to know that. I know she's going to visit family for part of it, but mostly I want to know where she's going to eat, which I'll just find out later, hopefully on the internet. But I felt like if she was here, she could just tell us, not leave us in suspense, you know? So these limes are interesting because they're limes, but they are yellow when they're ripe. So it's like one of that variety. But you can tell that some of these are green, which means I picked them too soon. But I needed them for Dorothea Puente. After my friends told me about Dorothea, I found a podcast about her. It was like a 2-part podcast. So it was a very thorough podcast about her. And I learned all the things. Okay, I can tell that that's hot now. I can feel the heat coming off of it. So it's ready. Hi! So I'm going to put these here. I'm feeling very guilty about not composting this stuff, by the way. I might just pull it out of the trash later when no one's looking. Okay, let's get this in here. Oh, I really feel like that's enough onion. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to cut the rest of the onion, to be honest. All right. Let's turn the little fan on. Actually, can you tell me if this fan noise bothers you? If it's super loud, I can turn it off, but I'd rather have it on, I think, because it is a little bit steamy. A wee bit steamy. Okay, what else did I do? And my friend came over, and we had a little tea party with the things that I made. And he said that my disaster muffins were fine, so that's nice. And we drank the tea that I got from Rainbow Grocery that I hadn't had yet, and it was delicious, so that made me happy because I got a whole jar of it. Which is probably not that smart if you've never had something to get a whole jar of it, but I guess I'm not that smart. Okay, yeah, I feel like we're not going to get 1/3 of a cup out of these. That's my thinking, but I think that's okay. I think 1/3 of a cup seemed maybe excessive. Also, this one looks a little dry. It's a dry lime. Not a good quality. Hi! How are you doing? Do you want to tell me what you did today? Okay. Okay, this isn't bad. There's juice coming out of it, even though it looked dry. That's the important part. Okay. I went to a friend's house recently for my first time at her house, and she was giving me a little tour of her house. And she had one of these this thing, right? But a big one like you see in a bar. And I was like, how often are you using that? It was out on her counter, and her place was little. And I was like, how often are you using that? And she's like, I use it sometimes. So I was like, feel like it doesn't seem like a necessity to have it like taking up 10% of your counter space. Could have been more than 10%. I could be conservative with that estimate. But also probably none of my business. So why do I feel like I need to like insert my opinion on everything all the damn time? 3:15 a.m. in the middle of the night? Is it the middle of the night? Why are you awake at this hour? I don't understand how you're awake. Did you just travel and you're jet lagged? No, because you live in the UK. I have no reason that I can think of why you would be awake at this hour. All right. Sorry if this is not fun for you because you can't see what's happening. It's literally just lime juice going into a measuring cup. It's not super exciting. The onions over here are doing good. I can show you the onions. There they are, sauteing away. Michael, do you want to hear about the series of live streams that I'm planning this month? Because, I'm expecting you to come to all of them, even if it's 3:15 in the morning. So I got this cookbook that was written by a serial killer that lived here in my area. And I'm veganizing all of the recipes for the month of October. So that's what we're doing today. Well, one of the one we're doing right now is actually already a vegan recipe. I started off easy. I didn't have to do any veganizing. But this was the one. Why did I want to make this one? Oh, because I just ran out of hummus. And I was like, okay, well, if I don't have any hummus in the fridge, it makes sense for me right now to have a chickpea dish. They better be good cookies you give up. Well, shit, they're not cookies at all. I actually don't think there was a single cookie recipe in her cookbook, to be honest. Not one. I have a pantry full of packaged cookies right now, so I haven't been making cookies because we have a store in the States called Grocery Outlet, Michael. I don't know if you have one that's like similar where you live, but it's like, I think it's like things that are maybe about to expire, so the other stores like give them to Grocery Outlet, and then Grocery Outlet sells them for like half the price or like a quarter of the price, depending on like how soon the expiration date is. Sometimes if the expiration date is like that day, then they'll sell it for like 10 cents. Why did I even bring that up? I have no idea. Oh my goodness. My train of thought, it goes too fast. I can't keep up with it at all. Oh, the cookies. Good thing that I have the chat there to cheat, huh? Yes, so they had these cookies that I really like. They're kind of like Girl Scout Thin Mints, which isn't actually going to be a good example because you might not even have Girl Scouts there. Or they're probably called something else, but they might not do cookies. Anyway, they're good cookies. And of course, when I see a good deal, I have to buy like, 20 of them like a weirdo. There's not 20 in there, only because I already ate like 15 of them. Okay, I think I need to do the next step on the onions because they're starting to turn brown. Okay, so the next step that she wants you to do with the onions is to add wine, which we don't have. So what we're going to add is, I almost just put the lemon juice and that would have been a no-no. We're going to add this Better Than Bouillon. Not sponsored by Better Than Bouillon, but this shit is amazing. If they want to sponsor, just reach out. So I'm just pouring this in the onions. Ooh, that's loud. Ooh, it's doing a lot of action over here. That's the action. Do you want to see the action? That's all the action happening. But I'm also supposed to be putting the seasonings in there, so I better get on that. Okay, I wrote a half a tablespoon, which is probably like that much. Seems about right. Did I write? Yeah, I wrote half a tablespoon of thyme and basil. She used fresh herbs in this recipe, and I'm like, who just has fresh thyme? And I substituted basil because she used fresh mint I don't have mint. Who has mint? Fresh mint just sitting around? What is that? I don't know who that person is who has that, but that person is not me. So I'm actually making quite a few substitutions to this. But it's the thought that counts, I feel like. Okay, so these are just going to simmer until the liquid evaporates, and then we just add it to our chickpeas. Okay, the limes, oh, just kidding. The limes are almost always squeezed. Oh, nope, I wasn't kidding. They're squeezed. Okay, so how much would you think it was? Oh my gosh. It's like almost, it's halfway between a quarter and a third cup. Not bad. That's not bad, right? Okay, so here's more compost things I'm putting in the garbage. Don't judge. I really think I'm going to pull them out later. I'm setting them in there on the top so I can pull them out later. Okay, so let's see what's next. According to this, okay, avocado oil we put in there, onion we put in there, garlic. Garlic we need to put in there. All right. So this is my roasted garlic that I had in the fridge. I'm going to use like that much. Sure, why not? Who's going to stop me? There's no rules here. There's no rules to cooking, I'm pretty sure. Now, baking has a lot of rules. If you don't like rules, don't bake. But cooking, it's like anarchy, honestly. Okay, so this looks pretty good. I'm going to turn it off, I think. All right, I turned that off. I hope it's cooked. Okay, and so next is lime juice. We did that. Is this like it? We just put it together and it's ready? Oh, salt and pepper. All right, I'm going to move this out of our way. Okay, so here's the chickpeas. We can look at these instead of me. Maybe. Oof, that's not a great angle, Robin. Maybe I can put you here. Oh, nope. All right. Well, you're just going to have to look at me. Sorry. I'll bring it up like this. Like a model? Like a chickpea model? That's totally normal. Okay, so I'm putting all of this lime juice. It feels like a lot. I don't think I'm going to put it all at once. I'm going to wuss out. I'm going to put half of it. Okay, I put more than half. I just don't want to over lime it. It just seems like a really lot. Like, Dorothea, come on. Okay, this is good. All right, we're going to put these oniony things in here. This is too hot to touch. It's a little hot. Let me use this. My parents have this. It's so cute. It's like an oven mitt, but for the handle of your cast iron pan. It's like made like an oven mitt, like thick, but it like goes over the handle. So it's just like a little, it's pretty freaking cute. I should probably make one. But until then, I'll just use a towel to pull it closer to us. All right, so I'm just going to scoop this in. Mm-hmm. What's crazy is that she said to actually put the chickpeas into the pan and mix it, but I was like, then you're making the chickpeas get hot, and it's a cold salad dish. Like, it's called garbanzo bean salad. So it just didn't seem right to like put this in there and get it all hot, right? You're drinking some very fine California wine. Represent. Very nice. See, if you were here drinking that wine, you could have put some in this dish like we were supposed to. I cheated. Are you drinking white wine or red wine? Because the dish called for white wine, so maybe that wouldn't have worked out. Do you not have vineyards there? Is it too cold? I feel like it might be too cold there for you to grow grapes because it's very hot here in California. And I don't know where else grows grapes. I guess Italy? Is that where wine is made in Italy? Besides California? I don't have a lot of wine knowledge, as you can tell. I mean, secretly I'm a sommelier and I'm just pretending like I don't know, just to see how much you all know. Okay. There we go. Hi. So many people join and then don't say anything. But I like it when you talk to me. Okay. I mean, people are probably freaking busy, quite honestly. Okay. So this is what it looks like. I think it looks pretty delicious. We haven't salt and peppered yet, but I'm going to do a taste test right now. An in-between taste test. And I'll let you know what I think so far. It doesn't taste too limey, so that's good. Also, I just realized limey rhymes with blimey, which I feel like we could make a thing. Syrah. Okay, that's a red wine, right? And it's very good indeed. So you're up at 3 a.m. drinking wine, huh? That's how you're awake at this hour. That makes more sense. All right, how much salt do we use? A lot, probably. I like a lot of salt. And I'm the only one eating this, so. Although Kimmy's coming over on Saturday, so she might want to eat some with me. And Kimmy's going to do a live stream with me on Saturday. We're going to do, what are we doing? One of these recipes. Oh, Dorothea has a bacon Brussels sprout dish. And we're going to make our own bacon out of tempeh, and we're going to make that. It's going to be delicious because I love Brussels sprouts, and Kimmy loves Brussels sprouts. But David doesn't like Brussels sprouts, so I hardly ever get to have them. So I'm very excited about it. All right, let's try another bite. Ooh. Okay, this is interesting. First bite did not taste the lime. Second bite with the salt did taste the lime, which means salt brings out the lime flavor, which everyone might have already known that. I might be the last person to know this. But I just learned it just now. And you were here for that learning moment. Are you excited? Okay, pepper. I think that's it. At least that's it for like the things in the recipe. I guess we could add other stuff, but I think it's pretty good. I don't think we need to add anything. So the funny thing about these recipes is that, yes, Dorothea was a serial killer, but the way that she killed people was poisoning them in the food that she made them, because she had like the house is still in Sacramento. I drove by it to take a look at it the day that I went to look at the cookbook, and she opened up the home as like a care home, and so people would stay there and she would take care of them. And so I promise I won't be poisoning any of these recipes when I make them. So good. Okay, I'm happy with it. I'm not going to add the rest of the lime juice because I feel like I like it the way it is, and I don't want to I don't want to mess anything up. So here's what it looks like. Let's try to get a close-up shot so you can see all the like onionies and herbies and stuff that's in there. But it's good. I think if I personally were to make this, like if this was becoming a meal in my heavy rotation, for instance, I would probably make it with more kinds of beans, because I know that beans cook at a different rate, but I don't think that it matters quite as much. So I would soak like 3 beans, maybe like this bean, and then maybe a kidney bean, and maybe like a navy bean or like a cannellini bean or something like that. And then I would just cook them all at the same time, even though I know that like some cook faster and some cook slower. Like in reality, I would just cook them all together just to save time. And so some would be softer. Oh, thank you. Oh, you have your own horrible cereal. Did any of them write any cookbooks? Dorothea was doing her killings like in the 70s, I think. So police work wasn't quite as good as it is now. She really got away with some stuff. She did a lot of lying, and people did a lot of believing her lies. I love beans too. So yeah, I guess like if I'm gonna make this, I would put more beans in it just because it makes it more, I don't know. I say healthy, but I don't know if that's true. But I think having kind of a variety is healthy. I don't have a nutrition degree. I have no way to back this up. It's a feeling that I have. So I think, yeah. So I would probably make it again. It's good, but I would make it again with different kinds of beans. And I would make it, I would I would make it on a day when I'm already sauteing onion for something else because dicing onion and sauteing it is like I think the hardest part of this. Like I dirtied a dish. If I'm gonna dirty a dish, I want to saute more onions. So I would do it when I'm making like enchilada sauce or some other thing that requires the same situation. Because now that the pan is dirty, I could just make another thing in it. I'm not going to because it's late and I'm gonna get ready for bed after this, but because I don't stay up all night like Michael. But yeah, so success. We made our first recipe from Cooking with a Serial Killer by Dorothea Puente, and there's more to come. Tomorrow's stream is going to be early. It's going to be at 1. Michael, you might be asleep. I don't know. It's going to be at 1 my time. I don't know what time that is your time. It's going to be 6 hours earlier than this one. And we are not cooking with a serial killer tomorrow. We are tasting many kinds of kimbap and rating which ones we think are the best. So the kimbap one is kind of like there are a bunch of different brands as well as different flavors of like frozen kimbap, and then you like cook them in the microwave and then you eat them and you decide which is the best. That's all we're doing. So it's going to be a chill stream tomorrow, but I'm going to have someone join me, which is going to be really awesome. So I won't be alone talking to you just like this. It'll be like a little more interactive, hopefully. Yeah, so you should come tomorrow if you can. I know 1 o'clock is kind of a weird time for people who work. But yeah, I think YouTube keeps them. I don't know if Twitch keeps them after they stop. I don't think so. But YouTube, I think, keeps them if you would want to see it later. If you're interested in having someone else do a taste test for you. No, seriously. Oh, I know. Oh, I know. Show me the mussels. I think you're in the wrong place to look for mussels. There's no mussels here. Last night I did this craft project with a friend where I reupholstered all the chairs in my dining room. There's 6 of them. And one of the tasks is to like, well, if you've reupholstered a chair, you would know this, but I had never done it before, so it's very new to me. So you like take the seat part off by unscrewing the thing, and then you wrap the fabric like as tight as you can, and you staple it with a staple gun. And the staple gun I have is a DeWalt staple gun, not sponsored. And it took me like 2 hands to squeeze it. And it only took me 2 hands to squeeze it because my friend only took 1 hand to squeeze it. So I was like, okay. Anyway, that's the issue. Not strong, no muscles. There we go. That's where that came from. All full circle. Kimmy is texting me looking for a recipe when she could just join the stream and I could tell her where the recipe is. But no, she doesn't want to come here and hang out with us. She just wants to interrupt like a silly goose. I don't know how we feel about that. I want to eat this. Should we just eat it together? I did already eat dinner, for the record. Now I just want to eat more because I'm a little bit of a piggy. I ate dinner and I had dessert. I had an ice cream bar, a mint chip ice cream bar from Good Pop. I'm so into this. I really like it. I need like a vessel for the lemon juice. I'm going to put away the rest of the lemon juice. Okay, lime juice, sorry. How dare I call you lemon juice? That's like when you get someone's pronoun wrong. It's so embarrassing. Sorry, lime juice, sorry. Okay, so I think I'm going to end my stream. I'm going to say bye to the Instagram stream. Bye. If I can figure out how to end it, I think it's the X. Yes. Okay, that was easy. And it wants me to share it. I don't really know what that means, to be honest. I don't stream on Instagram very often. Where would it share it if I clicked share? I'm going to click it, see what happens. Your saved live videos are now reels. Oh, no one wants to watch this as a reel, I don't think. Bye, Scott. Thank you for joining. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know you're going to be branding on Saturday probably, but me and Kimmy are going to be streaming on Saturday if you want to join at noon. We love you after all you've eaten? Why is that a question? I don't get it. Yes, you do. That's the answer. Okay. Have a good night. Thank you for coming. Please come again tomorrow or Saturday or both. Okay, have a good night. You should sleep, Michael. It's just a thought, like because it's dark out, you know. Just an idea.